Hello, everyone, and welcome in once again. It's time for the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. Tom Callahan here with you, joined by River Dragons head coach Jerome "Boom Boom" Bechard. And this week's player guest is Hunter Bersani. And Hunter, I see you've got your Go Bills hoodie on.
Yes, I do.
We're going to get into that. Don't worry, I don't touch that.
That hurts.
I don't. Why, did something happen?
Yeah.
Did something happen? I haven't noticed with all the Chiefs Swiftie mania going on.
Oh my gosh.
You wouldn't think there's another team in the NFL?
Yeah, or you could be the Lions. I mean, that one hurts.
I feel so bad for the Lions.
That one even hurts worse.
Oh, my God. I watching that game, going in at the half, let me know if you had this feeling, because I, as a Bills fan, had this feeling. Boy, this game's not over yet.
Yeah.
Like, okay, great first half, guys. Now show me you can finish it, because Lions fans were probably celebrating and excited, and
I was pretty excited for him, and just,
Oh.
I mean, there was nothing. Like, somebody's got to change something and stop the negative
right.
Stop the
plays
bleeding.
that happen. Yeah, like, I mean, in hockey, that's when you drop your mitts and go kick the crap out of somebody, or try to, whatever, and just, oh, man.
I know. I was watching it. It's like you can't look away. But again, because I've seen the Bills do this a million times.
Well, it's kind of funny because I started watching it at a buddy's house, and and he's a big Lions fan, right?
Yeah.
He's
Okay. So you're watching it with a Lions fan.
That was at halftime, and then I left to go home,
Oh, no.
and they're like,
Come back.
if they start losing, you need to come back. I'm like, that ain't happening, not at all.
The boomer mojo is only good for one half of football.
I'm pretty sure I've slept through most of the first half over on the couch at my buddy's house. Was I snoring? Oh, I mean, it was a great game.
No, I was practicing my lion roar. Yeah, that was something. That really was something. I felt really bad for them, but I can't bring myself to root for anybody coming out of the AFC at this point. So
No.
that's all right. We got 2 weeks to complain about this, and I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, although the upside is, and maybe the downside if you're a Swiftie, but is that Taylor has a concert somewhere in Asia, I think Japan.
Yeah.
So she won't be at the game.
Hey, good.
But, yeah, I don't know if that's the mojo for them or what.
What's his name, Travis?
Yeah.
No, that's the brother.
No, Travis is the player.
Travis
yeah.
is the one for Kansas City.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey's the one for Philly.
Yeah.
Well, Travis's head is going to be in wherever she is. Like, so, I mean, physically he's going to be there, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It could
Women
be.
weak in the legs, bro, man.
Could be.
I don't know. If there's a guy out there, I do think it put it mentally aside, it might be that guy.
They're both professional.
We'll see.
They're both professional.
Allegedly. So, oh well, we'll
I have told you my
game.
Taylor Swift story.
I didn't know
haven't
you had a Taylor Swift story.
Oh yeah.
What already got? What is it?
Let's hear this.
I haven't heard it.
So back when she was just starting, she was at the Columbus Civic Center,
Really?
and back in the day, we really, we kind of sneak in through the office and just kind of find a seat, right?
Right.
So, anyways, my we were out of town, so my wife had my keys and brings the girls and a few other friends and a couple other mothers to the concert. So, anyways, and usually, the concert, the stage is over by the suites or whatever and all that stuff, and usually, depending on where the curtain is backstage, depending where it is, like the sides are usually pretty open. So, anyways, my wife and the girls are there and this and that. And, so the Civic Center security, they know my girls. They know my wife.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you can't go there. Right. So anyways, they find probably the last, 6, 7 seats, top row, way up nowhere. Right. And like right at the end.
Yeah.
Right. All the way. And the concert's going, and the girls are having a blast, and they're singing and dancing and this and that. And all of a sudden, one of Taylor Swift's security people came up and said, "Hey, Taylor's mom has been watching you guys enjoy yourself all night. You need to come with me right now."
No way.
So they come all the way down the stairs, kind of give the security guys, Civic Center security people the wave and say, Sorry. So they got to meet Taylor. It was a really pretty cool story. So that's my Taylor Swift story.
Whoa.
So.
That's better than anybody else's Taylor
I was
Swift
going to
story
say,
that
that's
I know.
amazing. I didn't know. I didn't know she came here.
Yeah. So it was pretty funny. So now, like Alex is my oldest, and and she went to UJ. She does like football, this and that. But now, and she went to the Taylor Swift concert, whatever that's been going on right now.
Man, yeah.
Anyways, all of her friends went. So now she's got to watch, the Chiefs. It's working. That's exactly, it's crazy.
His stuff has outsold everybody else's in the NFL by like 3 times since she's come. I'll say she's come on board. Let's we'll put it that way. But yeah, seriously, it's the best marketing blitz for the Chiefs ever in football. Yeah, she's done what the NFL could not do. It's incredible.
Terrible. It's terrible. That's crazy.
Now, if they ever break up though, there's going to be a lot of Chiefs merchandise on eBay. Real cheap.
We'll see.
If it makes it that far.
You know what? It's kind of, not that I'm a big celebrity person or this and that. I don't know. He seems to be a pretty down-to-earth dude. Come from a good background or whatever, so,
Yeah. Well, all right. So, boom, you approve of the match.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So,
where's she from? Texas? Is she Texas? Where's she from?
I'm
Midwest?
not sure.
Midwest?
Midwest.
Oh, no, Pennsylvania.
Is she?
I just asked.
You know a lot about Taylor Swift, man.
She's from, because I was asking about it for the, she's like
for your daughter.
She's kind of like a Midwest. No, she'd be like a Midwestern.
Right.
Like she's got that kind of attitude. But I think she's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
where's Kelsey from? I think he's Ohio. He's an Ohioan.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Sure, that'll work for me.
I'm pretty sure. Well,
Okay, I'm with you.
they're a good couple. They're a good couple.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't get that far into it. But we'll see what happens. Either way, we'll have a football game in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I'm still going to root against the Chiefs.
As am I.
Regardless of your very charming and endearing Taylor Swift story, boom.
I know.
Put your money where your mouth is. Kansas City's probably going to win.
I will bet you a quarter.
Absolutely, you're on.
This is the famous story. So when I was a kid, my uncle and I bet the same quarter.
You told me last week.
I did tell you this one. We bet the same quarter on Bills games every week. And the year, I think it was 84 when the Bills went 2-14. They started like 0-7. So every week I lost a quarter to my uncle.
I shouldn't be betting because I actually lost some money today at practice.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, a lot of money actually.
Come on, guys. I really didn't mean to say like $100 a guy.
You can't. It's with J-Mac. It's anytime there's any sort of betting, it's always starting with J-Mac. And it's always going to be an absurd amount of money.
Is that why he was in a good mood today after practice? He came into the office, said hello to everybody.
He skipped in.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize there was a backstory to him being in a good mood.
Yeah, we'll see. I put my 100 down already, so
you don't need to put any money in. Who cares?
Yeah, we'll put it. It'll go in the fine.
Is that up on the board for the weekend, or was that just practice today?
Well, you know what? It was kind of a weird practice. Not weird, just we only had one goalie and had the shooter tutor. So, yeah,
best goalie in any league, though. Shooter tutor is the best.
These guys are so. Oh man, they're just.
Everybody wants to pick the corner on the shooter.
No, not at all. No, that's too easy.
Yeah.
That's too easy. He just stands there. The shooter tutor that I have, we made, and it's perfect. Right at.
Oh yeah.
4 inches on either side,
Yep.
On the post where you're supposed to shoot, and this and that. It's too easy. And they're mad at T-Joe last time he came out, and he's kind of banged up a little bit. He's not going down. He's not challenging us enough and whatever. I'm like, I want you to shoot.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, So we have the shooter tutor there, and, guys, half kind of shooting, whatever. Oh, this is too easy. I'm like, whatever. Makes me mad. Makes me want to skate them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, at the end of the day, I'm like, we're not getting better out here, so let's go on the end, and, I throw some pucks. If they hit the open net, they don't have to do the lines or whatever, this and that. So did 3. I think I had one more puck for everybody, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go turn the net around on the other end, and if you guys can, from one end, bounce it off the backboards into the open net turned around, I got $100.
Yeah.
So
the whole team ended up shooting.
I really didn't know the whole team was going to shoot. So out of everybody, 6 guys made it, so it was $600. That, I'm supposed to.
We don't care.
Only 6?
Only 6. Pretty disappointing.
Well,
some guys took different approaches. I hit the crossbar.
You did hit the crossbar.
The slap. I was like, I'm gonna take a boomer slap shot, see if I can make it all.
I got to come up with an inventive, some tricky thing so I can win it back. Without them really knowing.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could probably devise the entire plan on the air, talk about it like down to the detail, and you're still gonna get half of them. So that's fine. That's fine. That's not a problem. This is the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. We're hanging out right now with Jerome Bechard, and this week's player guest is Hunter Bersani. So, you guys want to talk about hockey at all, or talk about the entertainment factor here? I do want to talk about this last week's series because we hadn't seen the Zydeco in a while, and they come in, hadn't really changed personnel, boom. And we talked about this earlier in the week, but the effort's always there with these guys. But my question is, and I'm going to change the bend on it here a little bit for you. You're an expansion team. You're trying to find your culture. You're trying to establish yourself. We've seen Mississippi last year, from the beginning of the year to about the halfway point, cycle through a bunch of guys. Blue Ridge has been a revolving door to this point of the year. The Zydeco have kind of gone the other way. Still not seeing the results, though. Is that the definition of hockey insanity, by not changing it up?
Well, I guess it all depends. Like, I mean, I know not so much expansion as far as myself goes or whatever, but I remember, SP first couple of years, this and that, again, I've always said we've started off pretty slow, my teams, and, you're losing, you're not playing well, and I'm happy with my guys, but you're still not winning, and this and that, and, something's got to give. And if and really, as a coach, if you don't do a very good job recruiting right off the bat, it's really tough to find what you need to make that step. You might get lucky with a trade or this and that, but I mean, if you really think about it, anybody I get rid of or lose, I mean, they're probably going to be a pretty good player. Hence, like a Jake Cox. Like Cox, you could, Klink. Like, those are good guys. And, some guys that I, kind of regrettably left or regret.
You regret letting them go? Regrettably?
Yes,
had to let them go?
regrettably. Yes, I was mispronouncing that. But anyways, But if with my team, you're going to get a good player. Yeah. Everybody else, you're going to get an average player. Average doesn't. That's not what they need. They need a deal breaker. They need somebody that can kind of control the play. Like, obviously, with the Zydeco, you got Ozo. Ozo's kind of a calming factor, but he's not the type of defenseman that take control of the play and go, right? Yeah. And so if anything, they're missing kind of that leadership kind of thing or whatever. So it's really tough. And you know what? At the end of the day, they work hard. And, they had us on our heels a couple times and this and that. But, I mean, I think, they got to do it for the long haul where, anyways, I mean, I don't know what they need to do. It's tough to find a good player. Like, obviously now with kids coming out of college, you're waiting, a month or two, and that could be too long for them. Mm-hmm. Or you're waiting from a SPHL guy that might come down, and then you have to, as a coach, you have to talk that guy into coming down. Well, I don't want to go to a losing team or this and that. So, anyways, they got their work cut out for him.
Right. Hunter, what about from a player's perspective? What do you see there?
I mean, I didn't play this weekend, so I got to watch a little bit of, the the first game got cut short for me because I had to help someone get off the ice. But second game, they're not really disciplined in the sense of positioning wise, I think.
Like they just keep coming at you.
Yeah.
Like, keep coming at you.
But sloppy, they'll just like head first go at a guy, and then, we have so much talent, just one step and, we have non-man rush kind of thing. So what I was seeing a lot was like we were just holding in the offensive zone, like really dominating for a while. It was amazing that, the score wasn't higher.
Yeah, no, their goalie played well.
Yeah.
Their goalie played well the first game. Second game, I think he would have liked to have a couple of those back, but at the end of the day, when you're looking at 45 shots,
quality. We had
some really quality ones on Friday night. Anyways, all in all, good weekend.
Yeah,
glad to see Storge get one there because we talked about it after Friday night, and I thought Storge was going to tear his hair out.
Yeah, he's been snake bitten a little bit, and I mean, obviously you're not producing or this and that, but I mean. I'd be more concerned when you're not getting the opportunities at all, and you're not even in the realm, and you're not getting those shots. He was getting some prime shots, and he was shooting in the right areas too, and just not getting rewarded. So sometimes you just need to get that good rebound goal.
Yeah.
And again, like I was on the power play. I think that was the first one on the power play that he got, wasn't it? And again, like all these guys, you look at the power play, it's a terrible backhand shot from Morsey in the middle of the slot. I mean, and I say terrible. That's what I need. I just need a shot to go hit the guy's pads, and there you are. You got an open net. I mean, everybody thinks it has to be, I got to get all of it and all that stuff. No, it just needs to be. It needs to be on the net and quick.
Yeah.
And then you bang, there it is.
Yep. Most goalies are going to give you that first save, even at this level. I mean, you're getting the first save out of guys. It's just 2 and 3 and 4. Now what?
Yeah. Unless you got Boom shooting on you.
Yeah.
Then it's just going in.
Yeah, it's
going through the goalie.
Hey, man, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
Anyways.
All right, let's grab a quick break here. We'll come back with more in just a moment. Hunter Bersani and head coach Jerome Bechard. We're back with more of the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. Welcome back on the Behind the Bench Coaches Show, as we're joined this week by head coach Jerome Bechard, and our player guest is Hunter Bersani, talking a little hockey here and a little Taylor Swift earlier on. If you missed that, if you missed anything, as a matter of fact, that we talk about on the show, a couple days after the show, usually Thursday or so, we do post it as a podcast on the River Dragons YouTube page at Columbus River Dragons, so you can always go back and listen again. So, guys, are we done? Did we ring enough out of Baton Rouge?
I believe so.
Because we're going to see them again soon.
Yeah, so, I believe so.
It's them in Mississippi on this 8-game homestand we got going right now. Ooh. So see Wolves, and I think they're in 4th as of today. I know I looked at the standings before the show and I've already forgotten, but
yeah, hate to be those guys.
Nip tuck right there with Port Huron. Is it good to have? I don't know. How do I phrase this? I want to see more parity, but yet by the same token, you kind of have to have your have and have-nots, don't you? Or would you rather see more parity in the league?
I'd like to see more parity, but I mean, really, I need to challenge my guys. I mean, we need to be disciplined in all aspects of our game, and playing Zydeco and Mississippi. I mean, we got to continue to play our certain way. And, we play a certain way, we're more than likely going to, do well. And if we don't, we get away from that, we're going to give them opportunities. And so we need to be disciplined in certain aspects of our game. And that's, will go into what we need to do against the Carolina and the Binghamtons and whatever. It doesn't really matter. I mean, that's what we need to challenge. And that's why, like today, putting a shooter-tutor in, these guys are clowns. Like, I mean, I want you to shoot the puck. Mm-hmm. And those are the areas that I need you to shoot at. And I don't care if there's a guy moving or not moving. That's where you need to shoot the puck. And these guys all tend to want to come in and dangle and this and that, and I'm like, guys, when you're like Morsey in on his breakaway, it's a bang bang play, and he goes slide 5-hole, beautiful. You don't need to work on that. It just happens when it happens, right? It's like it's muscle memory. The quicker you do things, baseball, twitching, whatever. If you think about it, it doesn't happen. You're going to screw up. If you don't think about it and just let it happen, bang, 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 it's a goal. Jay Kroup's 100th goal. He didn't plan that.
Right.
It was a beautiful goal.
He practices that every day.
Well, he actually does practice tipping the puck. He does, but I mean, at the same time, that's a bang bang play, and you could probably never replicate that in practice.
No.
And that's what drives me crazy with these guys. Well, we need somebody to challenge us, and I'm like, no, you need to shoot the puck. Like, I mean,
put 2 shooter tours in.
In those spots. Like, for the most part, and generally, and I don't want to talk about myself, but at the end of the day, I shoot one spot all the time. I don't have to look at it. I don't have to anywhere on the ice. I'm shooting at that same spot. I don't look at it. I know where the net is. It's just there. And if you hit it, you're going to score.
Yep.
And, everybody's trying to put the puck right here. I'm like, that's not where you go. Anyways.
Yeah. And in the heat of the moment, I mean, it takes a lot of processing for someone to think, as a goaltender, I'm speaking here, like, I know Hunter Bersani likes to go high glove, but if he comes in from the wing, he's going to go cut across, go backhand, or something like that. Like, it doesn't work that way. It's read and react. You know, you're playing the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have that in your brain as a forward or a defenseman, hey, this is where my shot's going, because the goaltender has to wait on you.
Yeah.
Like, I can't make a save before you shoot.
Yeah.
No. Anyways, it's So anyways, one, it doesn't matter who we play. We need to play the same way. We need to have killer instinct, whether we're playing Mississippi, Carolina, Binghamton, the Bobcats, whoever. We need a killer instinct, and we need to step on people's throats and make sure that they don't want to play.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did want to ask you, Hunter, how you feeling, first of all? How's things?
Great. Yeah, no, I feel really good. Been doing like a ton of work and like got a nice routine down to make sure I'm all warmed up and ready to go now. So
he has no excuse now because now he has some feeling in his extremities, and now he should have some hands, and he might be able to score some goals.
Yeah, I know.
I've been talking about the line.
Yeah.
Since you got here.
Well, it's funny because haven't even had that much time together. It's kind of, with Krupp running the forwards, it kind of gets jumbled up more than when you run it. So, like, the couple games we have played together, we've had some really good juice, and like it just depends on how
I tend to, and so Jay and I probably have two different mentalities on how to run the bench.
I know you do.
And Jay tends to, scramble things up if we don't score like immediately.
One time, yeah, right. Then it's like
put it in the blender and hit frappe and see what you get.
Yeah. And I tend to not do that. Actually, well, you weren't on the bench this weekend, but with what we had, for the most part, with Shinks out, especially on Saturday night. Were we playing with 5D both nights?
Yeah.
We were on no, we started with 6 on Friday night, but then when Shinks went out, you went down to 5.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So for the most part, like really just about the whole game, we went with 5 and this and that. So I was kind of just throwing guys out there and just trying to get everyone some ice time. And then on Saturday night, basically I had 11 forwards and 5D, and was basically kind of rotating like 3 centermen with 4 sets of wingers kind of thing. And I like that. I kind of like kind of keeps everybody in, and depending on who and what and this and that. And anyways, it worked out pretty good. But I tend to kind of let things kind of stay together a little bit and some continuity, as opposed to hit the panic button and well, you're not going.
Yeah.
I'm like, and that's cool. That's a good thing. Like, I mean, I probably need to have a little bit, Huntsy's not playing well tonight. Maybe I need to sit him a couple shifts or this and that to wake him up. But at the same time, you can only, to me, you let him miss one or two,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got to say, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
And Jay maybe doesn't say, hey,
Yeah.
let's go again.
Yeah.
Type thing or whatever. So anyways, I don't know. Two different philosophies. But
Absolutely. Well, so Hunter, I want to get into your hockey jersey. Let's grab a break here, or your hockey journey.
Yeah.
Because I think your jersey's too small for me. But we'll get into that when we come back, and I'm also going to ask you about your warm-up routine.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
that's drawing some eyeballs. We're going to talk about it. All right, we'll be back with more in just a moment. This is the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. Back on the Behind the Bench Coaches Show, Tom Callahan here, along with Jerome Bechard, and this week's player guest is Hunter Bersani. And so, Hunt, I wanted to get into your journey a little bit here in hockey, how you got started playing. I know that, we referenced your Bill sweatshirt earlier. You were born in the Buffalo area. Were you there till what, 8?
Yeah.
Then you end up moving to Texas, which I'm going to surprise some people and say is actually a pretty good place to go to play youth hockey.
Yeah.
So talk to us about when you first put the skates on, who put the skates on you, and how it went from there.
I first kind of saw my dad playing hockey when I was around like 3 years old, like just like a drop in. My dad played soccer his whole life, so he wasn't much of a hockey player, but he loved it and like got me into it. So I played soccer and hockey growing up, and then hockey like completely took over. I was, so I started skating when I was around 3 years old, and then never stopped, so. Yeah, and then when I was around like 7 or 8, we moved to actually San Antonio first, which is not a big hockey market. There's about one public rink for the whole, giant city of San Antonio.
Did they have the American Hockey League team by then?
They did,
no?
yeah.
They
The
did?
Rampage were there, and
Rampage.
the Diablos, which I think were
Probably NAHL.
maybe a junior team. So we did have like some hockey, but both those teams are gone now. So we didn't have much, but it was just B League squirts and then moved up to Dallas, which is giant market. You'd be surprised. There's like 8 rinks publicly that are very close together, and had some awesome coaches growing up. And so, yeah, I played most of my career pretty much in Dallas, Texas. Even when we were in San Antonio, I was playing in Dallas. So my parents were driving me every weekend, 4.5, 5 hours every weekend to play hockey for, so they, took that sacrifice every weekend. It was not cheap.
I'm sure.
On top of paying for, paying to play, they were driving and taking time out of their weekend and weekdays to get me up somewhere better to play hockey, and it, pays off. And that's why, a championship means a lot to me, because not only have I sacrificed a lot, but my parents, my brother, my whole uncles and cousins, like everybody has had a piece of this pie, and and I've been close, my first year I've been close to winning, but, just to put it all together like that and just have a ring would just mean the world. And, guys like Boomers, he's done it, so some of our guys in our room have done it, and I just want it, I want it bad. So, that's what it comes down to.
Like Boom smirking over
Yeah.
here.
Try not to make him cry, but that's
Yeah. Well, it's important. So we'll talk about Boom here in a minute, but along your journey, any coaches that stood out to you, or any like players or people that maybe you looked up to?
Oh yeah. Actually, in San Antonio, when I was first kind of playing there, I had a coach named Doug Tresnek. No one knows who he is, but he was always taught me positioning well. So I've always had positioning in my head because he was so harped in on that. I've had Ryan McLean. I've had coaches all over that have played maybe in the CHL, like not too many NHL coaches. John Clem, I don't know if you know him. He played for Colorado, won 2 Stanley Cups with them. He was pretty good coach too. He taught me to not work so hard, actually, because I was like at the rink hours before practice, like trying to work on my skating and doing things. He's like, you need to take some time off, and like you need to just kind of relax a little bit. And that's like a big part now, especially getting older. Like you can't do 1,000 things I can't burn myself out. And then by the time practice comes around, I got like kind of half energy, right? So, yeah, I mean, I've taken pieces from every coach I've had, and especially Boomer now too. I mean, he's been in my life for 2
What did
years.
you take from me? What did you take from me? What's the
Emotions? No, I'm just kidding. No, everything. I mean, even just, seeing how he carries himself off the ice as well is, such a huge part. And a lot of fans always say, man, all the Dragons are so nice and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it kind of starts from the top. I mean, even Jeff. But we have, Boomer and Petro, like such good leaders that not only are good on the ice, but like off the ice, this is how you treat people. This is how we go in the community. And like, so that starts from the top. So when people give us compliments, it really shines light on him because that's where it starts from.
And along the way, as you're making your decisions now, you're growing up. I mean, there are paths you can go, right? You can maybe play some junior. You can maybe go to college.
Yeah.
You can, stop playing altogether.
Yeah.
I mean, what was your decision-making process as far as what to do?
Yeah, no, I was playing juniors, and I had a pretty good junior career and a lot of sniffs at like some pretty good Division III schools, no Division I. And my mom's a teacher, so this transition from saying, hey, like I might not be going to school was kind of a tough conversation for Mom. But she knew I wasn't like really passionate about anything school-wise. She just knew that I loved hockey with all my heart. And so my plan was to play pro in Sweden. And then a lot of people know this story, but I kind of took a year off because my mom had some surgeries and stuff. And I was going to go to Sweden that year to play my first year of pro, but then COVID hit at the same, like that year. So I was kind of lucked out because I know some guys that went over to Sweden and got stuck over there because they weren't letting people back for a long time. So then I got lucky and got a phone call from a bunch of guys getting sick.
crazy times?
Yeah.
That was the triangle of death trip,
Yeah,
right?
that
Boomer?
crazy COVID year.
Yeah. So like and then ended up working in my favor. So I got to play for, a team that I didn't know existed.
Well, you know what? Like, I mean, again, everything happens for a reason.
That's right.
God puts you in places to, just puts you in the right place for whatever reason. And obviously, that was meant to be.
Yeah.
And then, when it comes down to careers, like, again, it's a matter of what you want and what do you want out of it. Like, I mean, Huntsy, here first year, had an opportunity last year, spread his wings, go to the SPHL, see what's going on, see where it's at. I mean, and you know what? I mean, I'd like to think you would have got a better opportunity, but it is what it is. And, like, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? And be a big part of something or a small part of something, doesn't matter. You're part of it, right? But you still need to be a part of it. And at that point with you, probably last year, you're bounced around and you weren't, and you were a means to somebody's problem for an answer for short term.
Yep.
And and as far as guys that's played in Columbus and legends and all that stuff, I'm like, why do you want to be that guy? What do you want to be that person that helps somebody for a short term when you know that you're not the answer that they're looking for, because at the end of the day, you're my answer here.
Yeah.
So what do you want to go there for?
Right.
And this and that. So anyways, that's kind of, I guess my kind of mentality as far as guys and what you want out of it, type thing. And don't get me wrong, I want you to go to the highest level possible, but really at the highest level possible, whether it's SP, East Coast League, like at the end of the day, it's not a whole lot of money. Mm-hmm. It's not,
Right.
I know, well, it is, but it isn't. Like, grand scheme of things, a couple $100 a week here, $300 a week there. What are you doing with that extra $100?
Yeah.
Like, you're not buying a car, you're not buying a house, you're not going to invest.
Yeah.
You might be able to do some penny stock trading and do all right, I guess. I mean,
there's an app for that.
I don't know. Maybe you can. I mean, and I know some of the guys actually do that. I mean, whatever. So, anyways, so what do you want out of it, kind of thing? So,
Right.
And then we talked my first year. At the end of my first year, I talked to Boomer about where I was going to be going, and I told him I wanted to go to the coast and whatever, and he pretty much like explained to me. He's like, well, because you kind of did your little, you did a tour of, maybe playing for a couple teams, but he's like, I found a place where I'm wanted, and he's like, it's hard to find that kind of thing. Is how you may not remember as well as I do.
Oh no. I mean, that's my whole career. I'm like, well, first of all, I'm never playing up north. Unless it's in the American League with an NHL team. All right. So that was my caveat. Yeah. So anyways, went to Birmingham and you know what? Like, if you look at my hockey DB, like, I've literally played on 3 teams, or four teams, I guess, when it comes down to it. And very fortunate to find ownership groups, coaches that you can trust, and you can enjoy yourself and be part of it. Because most coaches, I mean, I guess I'm probably an anomaly, are worried about their own lives. They're worried about their jobs, and they have to be cutthroat, which I get that, and I do to a certain point. But, really, I'm not. I'm more concerned about my guys, making sure that they're taken care of and they're learning and becoming a better person and better player. And, we win a championship. That's a bonus.
And you wonder why we want to stay. It's because of what he said right there. It's about how he looks at us as people more than even just the way we play, but being a good player on top of that.
And I can tell you from my experience, there are far more bad ownership groups. Like, never mind the front office, but just the ownership groups. And it's not that they're bad on purpose, but sometimes they don't know what they're doing. They make wrong moves. And this is the biggest mistake I think people make is, well, I know how to run XYZ business. I'll just apply that to a sports franchise. Right. And let me tell you, this is a completely different animal.
Oh, I know. I mean, like, even, the other day or a month ago, whenever we went to Trevioli's, we were sitting with Jeff, our owner, for an hour and a half afterwards, just me, Kirk, and like Petro, just talking and laughing, making jokes. I mean, I don't even know if I'd met any other owners on the other team, let alone talk with them for hours on end and like joke around with them. And I mean, it's really special.
Keith and Becky in Huntsville are pretty good.
Yeah, but I wasn't there long enough. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not trying to like knock anybody, but I'm just saying how special it is here.
It is. It's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. So, I mean, that's just, it is something to point out. Hey, we're fairly fortunate here.
Yeah, extremely.
Could be a lot worse. So, why don't we grab a break, and we will come back here with more in just a moment with Jerome Bechard. Hunter Bersani is our player guest, and this is the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. All right, welcome back on the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. Tom Callahan, along with player guest Hunter Bersani and River Dragons head coach Jerome Bechard. Boom, and Hunter, you can chime in on this if you want, but Boom, I wanted to get your reaction on this one. So the league on federalhockey.com once again has announced a little bit of a diversion. I won't say a change in course, but a diversion in course. After lengthy discussion, this is from the website, after lengthy discussions with the commissioner, director of player safety, and the director of officiating, the FPHL has decided to modify certain aspects of its recent disciplinary directives. The league, I'm going to paraphrase now, leaving the bench penalty in its rule book since its inception, but had never had a defined penalty/suspension for said actions. Well, they made it 6 games for a player, which meant with the rules they had out on January 4th, the coach got 3 games. In early January, that's when they put those out. But now, as a result of the conversations, they've decided that automatically suspending head coaches in situations where they could not have mitigated the player's action or behavior is counterproductive to the intentions of the league. And so, as a result, moving forward, instead of the automatic 3-gamer, each coach or team fined $500. It's important to note the instance of any player leaving the bench to start or join the altercation where there's evidence or reason to believe the coach ordered or tacitly approved will be 3 games and $500. So to me, and I understand you can't always control the players, but shouldn't you always control the players? So let me play devil's advocate on this one here. Coach, when you're looking at your guys on the bench, are you going to have a loose cannon who jumps out there and does something?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest thing. Like, I mean, you got a guy that continually jumps people. That's the guy that's jumping off the bench. How important is that person to me as it relates to my hockey team? Do I need him? Is he, anyways, I mean, so yes, I have control of my bench. And if I allow him, Huntsy, to jump off the bench and go, pretty sure I probably dictated it. And I say that I mean, I was involved in my situation with Craig Simchuk. Simmer got one of the longest suspensions in the SP ever. I think it was like 28 games.
Wow.
Or I have to go back and look, but it was pretty lengthy. And that's when I had Shannon Zabados playing for me. We were playing Peoria, and Peoria, they're kind of in the crease and bumping guys and bumping her and bumping goalies and just kind of playing that. We didn't have a very strong team that year either, type thing or whatever. And we were getting, first period 3-0, 3-1, 3-4, 3-0 maybe. And they're in the crease and they're bumping her and this and that. And I'm losing my mind. And I'm like, whatever, somebody do something. So anyways, Simmer, I could see it happening, right? I could see it happen. No, just wait. I can see it happening. Puck gets dumped into their end, and, one of our guys goes to the corner for the puck, and I could see Simchuk running right for the goalie, right? And all of a sudden, I don't know who it was, but, Bersani throws a puck centering pass to Simchuk right on his stick, right? So it's 3-0. This was like right at the end of the first period, right? 3-0. And
wait, you're up 3-0 or down 3-0?
We're down 3-0. And Simmer was going to run the guy. All right. And all of a sudden the puck's on his stick, scores a goal. And I'm like, oh, we won. We scored. It's 3-1 because that guy was going to be dead. So anyways, we go into the in between periods in the dressing room, and I'm still hot. And I'm like, whatever, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't care what happens. Anybody comes near our goalie, like, we're line brawling, everybody, whatever, right? So that's all I said. Simmer, was he my captain? I don't know if he was my captain that year or not. Anyways, he took it upon himself to basically run the goalie and put him on a stretcher and sent him to the hospital.
Oh, my goodness.
Right? So anyways, so John Gee, the coach in Peoria, chirping me and this and that, and it was a bloodbath after it. Like the rest of the game was just it was pretty bad. Like, I mean, line brawl after line brawl. Like I don't even know if we finished the game with like 5 guys on the bench. I don't know. It was pretty nasty, right? So anyways, the paper, this and that. John Gee's calling me a piece of crap and whatever. He heard that I sent Simchuk after the goalie and blah 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 and whatever. Yeah. Anyways, I mean, no, I didn't. Did I want something to happen? Absolutely. Did I want Simmer to put him in the hospital? Absolutely not. Did I direct him to take the run? No. But anyway, so I think Simmer got 20 games. I think I got 6 games.
Wow. So they did get you for.
Oh no, it was pretty
crazy,
pretty extensive. And you know what? I mean, did I control my team, my guys?
Yeah.
No, I was losing my mind.
Right, I know.
But anyways, and and for Jean Guy to kind of call, kind of basically put words in my mouth or lie or whatever. I heard absolutely not. Anyways, never done it. You know what? I did it once. I did tell Craig Stahl, again, same thing, Macon guy, ran my goalie. Actually, no, it was Mike Cragen in Knoxville. He ran my goalie, and they scored. And, you know, Stalzy's one of the toughest guys I've ever played with and know or whatever. And I go, Craig, you got to go take the draw. And make sure that he knows, okay?
Yeah. So what you can't see is that Boomer gave it the tap on the shoulder. That's
Boomer's
the key.
And I don't do that.
No,
right?
Boomer's like Gladiator where he gives a thumbs up or thumbs down. Just look over at him.
So anyway, Stalzy's like, Mikey, you got to pay the price. And he's like, I'm not dropping my gloves against you, Stalzy. I'm like, you better drop your gloves because I'm going to pound the living crap out of you if you don't. So he did, and whatever. Anyways.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I would try real hard to get thrown out of that face-off.
Oh yeah. No.
Anyways, it was pretty funny. Anyways, those are good times.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's what we do. We like to reminisce here. We tell stories about Taylor Swift and Limebrook.
Yeah.
So there you
Covered
go.
all
Good
bases.
times.
That's it. Well, guys, we're kind of right up against it here, so I just want to say thanks for joining us.
Just making memories,
Awesome show.
Tom. Just making memories.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We appreciate it. So thank you, and we'll talk to you guys on Friday night.
Awesome,
You bet.
thanks.
All right, we are back to wrap things up in just a moment on the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. All right, everybody, thanks for listening in to the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. Just to wrap it up, I want to remind everybody Military Night is coming up on Saturday night, and you know that's going to be amazing. If you were there last year or really any previous year, Military Night, the atmosphere is absolutely incredible. It's a lot of fun. That game will sell out, so get your tickets now. You can get them online at Ticketmaster.com, or, of course, you can come down to the Civic Center box office. So Friday night, Saturday night, we have the Mississippi Seawolves in town, and then looking ahead, we also have Youth Hockey Night coming up on the 10th of February, and all youngsters 12 and under, while supplies last, will receive a Tim Hortons Timbits youth hockey jersey. Now, again, that's 12 and under. You do have to be there to get your jersey. None of this, I got 12 kids at home. You got to be there, and it's just while supplies last. We have a limited quantity on hand. Get your tickets for that game now. So, all right, my thanks to Hunter Bersani and head coach Jerome Boom Boom Bechard for being here. This is the Behind the Bench Coaches Show, and we'll talk to you on Friday night. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.